If I believed Koskov, we wouldn't be talking. But as long as you're alive, neither of us will know what he's up to.
Pushkin had to address a trade conference, and as he stepped forward to make his speech, I fired at him from the balcony. Perfect accuracy. He fell, blood at his mouth and chest. I made my escape. Everyone thought that Pushkin was dead, including Whitaker and Koskov. But it was a trick. Pushkin was wearing a bulletproof vest with a plastic bag of blood under his shirt. If Koskov thought I had killed Pushkin, he would assume I believed his story. I called on Kara in her hotel room. She mixed me a drink.
Did I get it right?
Perfect. Kara, it's time I told you the truth. Koskov fooled everyone. The Russians, the British, you, Kara.
Liar. I telephoned Whitaker. Georgi was there. He told me the truth. You're a KGB agent using me to find him and kill him.
I began to feel dizzy. The drink was drugged.
Courtesy of Georgi Koskov?
To make you sleep, he said.
I came to on a plane in flight, handcuffed to the armrest of my seat. Beside me was a container labeled human transplant organ. Kara was on the plane too. She came close and whispered,
I've been such a fool.
We all were. Can you undo the clasp on that container?
I think so. Yes. Oh, it's a heart in ice.
It's not human. And that's not ice. It's diamonds.
We got the container closed before Koskov approached.
I'm curious, Koskov. Why am I still alive?
I am not barbarous, James. I am taking you to proper Soviet authorities for killing of General Pushkin.
We landed in Afghanistan, and Kara and I were put into the cell block at the Russian airbase. But I managed to use one of Q's clever devices, a keyring which released a cloud of stun gas to overpower the guards. Kara gave me a hug. Very pleasant.
You're fantastic. We're free.
Kara, we're in Afghanistan, in the middle of a Russian air base.
I locked the guards in a cell, gave the keys to an Afghan prisoner to release himself, and we made our escape from the building. In the open, we were attacked by a fierce-looking band of Afghans, but fortunately for us, the man we had helped get away was their leader.
I am Kamran Khan, Deputy Commander of Eastern District of the Mujahideen. Who are you?
James Bond. I work for the British government.
I discovered that the diamonds Koskov had smuggled in were obtained with the money that he'd misappropriated from the Russians and were to be exchanged for vast quantities of opium. Whitaker and Koskov would make an enormous profit. Disguised as an Afghan, I helped load the bags of opium aboard a plane at the airbase. Then I set an explosive charge amongst it to destroy it in flight. As I was about to get off the plane, I was spotted by Koskov and one of his henchmen. There was nothing for it but to stay on the plane and take off. At that moment, the Afghan freedom fighters burst through the perimeter fence and a great firefight developed. Kara was with them. She took a jeep and I beckoned her to follow after my plane, which taxied along the runway. I lowered the loading ramp at the back of the plane and Kara drove up it into the body of the aircraft. She joined me in the cockpit and took the co-pilot's seat. got the plane off the ground and turned towards him.
Take the controls!
I've never flown!
Just pretend it's a car!
I went back to the hold to deactivate the explosive I'd set, but somehow Koskov's henchman had got aboard. In the fight that ensued, the cargo net holding the opium bags came adrift and billowed out behind the plane, taking me and my adversary with it. We clung on for dear life. My opponent tried to stab me, slipped, and grabbed at my shoe to save himself. The shoe came off and fell with him to the ground far below. I managed to get back aboard and defuse the explosive just in time. We flew on until the fuel gave out.
There's nowhere to land over these mountains. Get into the jeep, Kara.
I joined her and jettisoned the vehicle, supported by 3 cargo parachutes. Gently, we floated down to safety, close to a mountain road.
What does that signpost say?
Karachi, 200 kilometers.
Ah, I know a great restaurant there. We can just make dinner.
Later, in Tangier, I caught up with Koskov and Whitaker. Whitaker I dealt with using another of Q's explosive little gadgets, but I was in danger from one of his men. Fortunately, Pushkin arrived and shot him.
I owed you that 007.
Koskov saw a chance of escape.
Thank God you're here, General Pushkin. How can I thank you for rescuing me?
Put him on the next plane for Moscow.
Thank you, General. Thank you.
In the diplomatic bag.
But General, no, no.
Pushkin's men hustled Koskov away.
What about Kara?
They allowed her to stay in the West, and she realized her ambition to play at a big concert in Vienna. She looked surprised when she found me in her dressing room afterwards.
James!
You didn't think I'd miss this performance, did you?